Happy Saturday. It's the last Saturday of October, and this is the last video of the Things That I Wish That I Knew series. I really struggled with this video because my goal is to make it vulnerable, and I am not a huge fan of vulnerability. So I started getting frustrated, and then I found the humor in it because I remembered the book Daring Greatly by Brene Brown and how she talks about vulnerability being a huge factor in success. So I felt as though maybe I should open it. And I found this quote that I feel I should share and kind of fits into the conversation that we've been having all month. Um, Perfectionism actually sets us up to feel shame, judgment, and blame, which then leads to even more shame and self-blame. It's my fault. I'm feeling this way because I'm not good enough. And that is exactly how I'm feeling right now. Like, I feel like I have to produce high quality work and be like a content creator because that's what is out on the internet. That's what other people are using as references. And I think what I am not sharing is like the personal side of things and the things that I struggled with, and that's unique to me and my story. And so if it's relatable, I think I can share it and help other people start making changes for themselves. And so today I really wanted to just kind of talk about my fitness journey, where I started, and some of the pain points that I dealt with. This was like 10 years ago. I started at a CrossFit gym weighing like 287 pounds, and I really joined the gym just because I felt like I didn't have that many friends in Texas. I was struggling to connect with people, and in my mind, it was because I was fat, which kind of was because it was my barrier to happiness. Um, I think a lot of people assume that like going back to the gym and like looking good is gonna automatically solve your problems. And the reality is it's not. I still deal with a ton of the insecurities and mental health blocks that I did when I first started. One of the biggest things was like I hated taking my shirt off at a pool or around somebody, and I still do, to be honest with you. I don't really enjoy it. I have lost over 100 pounds, and I have what a lot of people would consider like a perfect body. I have less than 10% body fat. You can see so much muscle definition in my torso, but something that is still a factor is stretch marks and my loose skin. I was almost 300 pounds, and so naturally I am going to have to store that somewhere, and my body just has extra skin and I have stretch marks. It's something that I deal with every single day. I get embarrassed when I take my shirt off at the pool, when I swim. When I was traveling this summer, I was really embarrassed by my stretch marks. I think especially in the gay community, there's a huge pressure to have like a perfect body and to look amazing, and I know that's the same in every demographic, but I really struggled with my confidence in presenting myself as my most authentic self because I was afraid people weren't gonna like me because I was heavy set. And the reality is, like, people don't really care if you're skinny or if you're heavy. People don't really care if you're, you know, some people do, but for the most part, most people don't really care. The only people who care are people who are unhappy, and you. If you're happy with who you are as a person and you're confident in what you bring to the table, you shouldn't worry if somebody likes you. You shouldn't feel as if you're not good enough. And I think the gym really helped me figure that out. Is it's not a competition. You know, I compared myself to the athletes that were in the gym 7 days a week when I first started, and I was really down on myself of why I couldn't do it. But if you haven't been doing something, jumping into perfection is unattainable. And I realized that perfection, I will never have it. I have, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got stretch marks. I have loose skin. Like, it's not something I can ever get away from. And so I will never have a perfect body. So understanding that and still presenting myself as a confident person was really hard, and it still is. But the mantra that I just tell myself is progress, not perfection. I think far too often we use social media as like a comparison to be like, oh, we're not there, or we're not good enough yet, and I don't have this kind of body, or I don't have these things, I'm not there yet. And social media is curated to just project a perfect image of what we want our lives to be. And again, you can't attain perfection. You can always chase progress, and that mindset shift has been huge in determining my success. I think going from having to be on blood pressure medication and a sleep apnea machine to now feeling healthy and getting the all clear from my doctors when I go, and not having to worry about, can I make it up this flight of stairs without feeling winded? Or I think those are things that show me I'm making progress, and it's not a determining factor of success, but to me, it just shows that I am further than I was when I started. And I don't give myself enough credit for losing 100 and some pounds. And I really struggled when both of my parents were diagnosed with cancer. It really took a toll on my mental health, and I think that is when I realized that I could really use fitness as a outlet and a healthy coping mechanism for my anxieties and my mental health issues. While I was overweight, I struggled with depression. I still have anxiety, but it's a lot easier for me to manage when I'm working out and having that physical release. I think it's really important for me to spend time with myself every single day and seeing how I'm feeling, checking in with myself, and giving myself the grace to not be perfect, to make mistakes and to fail, and to not hit the mark every time. But I think where I really push myself is acknowledging a failure or acknowledging maybe a misstep and incorporating that into what can I learn from this and how can I move forward. And using the gym to fail and not be perfect is, in my opinion, exactly what the gym is supposed to be for. It's supposed to be an environment where you go and learn and connect with yourself rather than compare yourself to others. The people who go to the gym every single day that I know of, that's exactly what they do. That time at the gym is for them to go through their anxieties, go through what is bothering them, and be able to work out some of that stress in their body so that they're able to present themselves to the situation, to people around them, their best. I think we have this idea that we're supposed to be perfect and that we are all supposed to be just like Lottie, but we're not. We are ourselves. We are individuals. We're imperfect beings in an imperfect world, and the pursuit of perfection is only a stressor. And I want to end with this last quote from Daring Greatly. It's a researcher, Dr. Kristen Neff, and she is a professor at the University of Texas, Austin, and she runs the Self-Compassion Research Lab. And she found that there's like commonalities for all humans, and one of those is common humanity. And common humanity recognizes that suffering and feeling of personal inadequacy are part of the shared human experience, something that we all go through rather than something that is just happening to me alone. You're not alone. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. But we're not perfect together. And I think that is the key point in the platform of Layman Training Company. I want to show you that I'm not perfect and help you start making healthier choices like I did. I will never be perfect. I will never have a perfect body, and I'm okay with that. I think the stretch marks are something that I've come to love. It's something that I don't really shy away from because it's a conversation starter. I've been at the gym several times and have had people be like, oh my God, you have stretch marks? And it's a perfect opportunity to be like, yeah, absolutely. I used to be almost 300 pounds. That spark of curiosity from them is incredible. It's such a great conversation to be like, oh my God, that's such an incredible story. That can be you too. You can have an incredible transformation. It doesn't have to be weight loss, but you can go from struggling in your goals to breaking down that goal into your why, figuring out how you can work that into your schedule, and building a support system around that. I think I'm really fortunate that my mom and my sister and my best friends are all super supportive of me being a personal trainer and me building a business and getting an education. And I think developing that community was essential in my success. And so I think that is the goal for the next couple videos, is just creating community and having a conversation about mental health, and that as long as you're working towards a goal and you are doing better than you did yesterday, that's progress and you are right where you need to be. There's no timeline, you're not behind, you're not ahead, you are exactly where you need to be. The universe has put you here to learn the lessons that you're going through right now to make you a better person. And if this conversation is something that you want to be a part of, I would love it if you subscribed, ran over to my website, hit my follow button on my social media, and became a part of the conversation. Tell me about your struggles. What do you deal with? What are your imperfections that you want to make progress on? What are things that you feel as though you should be working on, and how can I support you as your personal trainer, as a coach, as your friend? How can I make my experience benefit you? So follow around, we'll see what next week's videos are. I'm spending the rest of today and tomorrow planning and getting ready for November. But happy Halloween, be safe, be loving, be kind to yourself, and just remember that you're not perfect, I'm not perfect, and there's no such thing. So progress over perfection. Happy Saturday.